I'm really sad because I found out that my mom's really good friend just died a few days ago. This was a guy that I actually wanted her to end up with. I thought that he was one of the best influences in her life. He was really positive and caring and reliable and calm, and they would have long political talks together. He would go on errands with her, like take her to the DMV, or if she had somewhere to be, he would go with her. When her dog got lost a few months ago, or it was more recent than that, we suspected that she was at this shelter because they posted online that there was a similar description dog that got turned in, and he was there the minute they opened in the morning. And my mom got there like a half an hour later, and he was sitting on the floor. He had already claimed her, and he was just playing with her, and he loved that dog, and I think he loved my mom, and I certainly loved him, and I thought that he was great. Like, he would hang out at her house a lot, and he would just make her coffee in the morning, and they would have long talks, and he would do stuff like clean the windows without being asked, or just like help with little household things, and he just was such a good guy. And he had a heart attack. He drove himself to the hospital in the middle of the night and parked, and he was walking over, and I think he just collapsed. I don't know all of it, but like, he died outside the hospital, and I just found out, so it's kind of unreal, but it's just really hard because I wanted him to be around for good. Like, I was kind of hoping that they would get together and that's who she would be with, because he was such a good, wonderful guy. Like, he knew everything about cars. One time my boyfriend and I were driving, and his car just stopped at a stop sign, and I called my mom, and she happened to be with Mark, and he stayed on the phone for like an hour helping us diagnose like whether it was like that we were out of gas or it was a fuel pump injection issue, and he helped us get under the car and take off this canister. And he was so patient and so helpful. He just knew everything. He was self-taught. He just wanted to know how things worked, and he was like more knowledgeable than a mechanic, and he finally helped us, and like we were able to figure out that it had to get towed and it had to go to a specialist, but we were able to diagnose it ourselves, and if it had been this or that issue, we could have fixed it. So it's just, he was so smart and just patient and generous on the phone to take all that time to try to help. And I mean, I only was around him a little bit, but he hung out with her for most of the week. I would say he was over there pitching in and just being great. And we got dinner. I remember that. I hope he knows how much I liked him, and I was rooting for them to be together. And he hated her shitty boyfriend as much as I do, if not more. She has the worst boyfriend. She has terrible taste. This guy is just like an opportunist, and he's manipulative and boring, and he's just emotionally distant and withholding and kind of abusive, and everybody in her life seems to dislike this guy, and it's so sad to watch. And Mark used to not hang out when he was there. He would leave. He didn't want to be around this guy, and he said that he wasn't good enough for her, and he was like a sociopath, and I half agree. Like, this guy is just bad, and Mark was so good. Like, I wanted so much for her to be with him, but of course it's not my decision. It just sucks that now that's not even an option. So I feel really bad for her because he was such a huge presence and factor in her life, and now he's just gone. I want to be the kind of person who deals with loss better. Like, you just appreciate the time you had and you remember the good things, but it's hard. I don't know how to be anything other than sad, and I have regrets that don't know. It was one of her closest friends, and now he's gone forever, and I feel so bad for her. And he was not that old. He was pretty young. I think he was in his 60s. He was too young to die. It was just like my idea that at some point she would break up with this guy and then Mark would be there and they could just grow old together. I really think he was good for her. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed. I don't really know what else to say except, Mark, you were great and you made my mom so happy. I hope that she made your life better and you guys made each other happy. You're gonna be really, really missed.